Democracy is under attack on all sides. And what we have to remember is that people want some sort of feeling, whether it's justified or not, that they're involved in their own future. That they, no matter how small their involvement, have some sort of say about the direction of their own lives and of their children's lives. And so this has always been a tension in the battle between the West and the East. And what I want to focus on is not economics. I want to focus on just creativity, because it turns out that democracies are very messy, but that messiness creates a fertile ground for writers, movies, something that provides some sort of tension that you can then transform into something else, hopefully on a higher level. And so if you want to talk about things, there's no question that a governmental-led system is superior. The things that the Soviet Union built many decades ago are still standing in Eastern Europe, and they're still being used. Not only in Eastern Europe, but in Cuba. You still have cars that are from the Soviet Union. So what is less obvious are the engines of creativity, the books, the movies that came out of the Soviet Union during that time. And it's quite possible and quite likely that the reason I can't point to a name of an author or a director from the Soviet Union at that time who wasn't exiled is because I don't speak Russian. And were I to speak Russian, I would be able to give you some names. But the reason I don't speak Russian is also in part because the people who were making movies or who were exiled or who were writing books, they felt the need or the attraction to another language. And where does that attraction come from? That attraction comes from the idea that you, individually, can make a difference somewhere else, no matter how far away, and no matter how long into the future. And that's the key issue that people tend to forget. There's no question that the Soviet Union, that China, that Cuba, of course, created a lot of things and products and services and books and movies. The Germans in the 1930s had a massive movie-making machine, but we don't care about any of those movies because their society failed. But the key thing I want to focus on is what makes someone translate a novel or collaborate with someone in a foreign country. You have to have some sort of genesis of motivation. And that motivation comes from this perhaps illusory idea that you, as an individual, your vote can make a difference. And in almost every case, the lawyers in the West have made sure that your vote does not make a difference. But that doesn't mean that your voice does not make a difference.